welcome back to We Talk Talent, our highly popular interview series where we uncover stories, strategies, and solutions driving the future of talent, HR innovations, and leadership. I'm Abhik Roy, Associate Content and Community from ETHRWorld, and it's my pleasure to introduce the guest of our today's episode, Rency Mathew, People Leader, APAC, and MD, Sabre Bengaluru. Hi, Rency. We are so glad to have you on We Talk Talent. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm just happy to be here and sharing whatever I've learned with the audience of this podcast.
Wonderful, and I'm equally happy and very excited with all my questions. I'm ready to go, and I'll start with my first question. Digital transformations and AI, especially AI, has absolutely redefined how work gets done. How workplace operates, how employees experience work. Given that context, what are your HR priorities right now? At Sabre, as Sabre, builds a future-ready workforce for tomorrow.
So, of course, the world is changing so fast now, right? And, I mean, earlier we used to talk about what will you do in 5 and 10 years and all, and I'm not against that question, but the world is changing so much that we do not know what is in 5 years, right? So, what we do at Sabre is, of course, focusing on making sure that, of course, we're talking about AI at this point of time. So, how do we invest in, that folks learn AI, building the AI literacy basically, right, across teams. So we do have a lot of trainings that we often do offer to people. We are, of course, investing on the cloud. We're investing on our data science capabilities. How do we, upskill our folks? And we have multiple hackathons that we run through the year, right, both locally as well as globally, right? We have specific forums like focusing on even women, focusing on our fresh talent that we get, right? How do we create a continuous learning environment, right? So are we providing the right tools for people to do well in their roles, right? We have also partnered with the Google Cloud and their learning platforms, right? We also have this program which we call as Hyperjump, which is our university recruitment program, right? We bring in fresh graduates every year, right? And we put them through 6 months of very good program where they learn to become the kind of employees that we're looking for, and we give them all the the ownership to ask us questions on why we are doing what, right? Just bringing the new energy, new talent, new way of looking at things. So those are some of the things that we are doing to work with the changing world that we are in.
Wonderful, and I think learning is right at the top priority. I understand, and you just talked about how changing world, and that's true. I think transformations, changes have become a constant right now in the world of work, and employees have a lot to. That's why have a lot to deal with, but and at the same time they are also grappling increasingly with burnout, change fatigue, and rising stress levels. So, given that, at Sabre, how are you nurturing a culture where while, learning is happening, everything is happening, but at the same time, well-being, work-life integration remains, prioritized, remains the number one priority. How are you doing that?
One thing which I'll tell you from my personal, experience itself, right? And I've been now with Sabre for 3.5 years, right? And what I've experienced in Sabre is that Sabre focuses a lot on work-life balance, right? I have almost never heard teams saying that, they have to constantly work or stretch to, fill or do work, right, or work over weekend to do things. Of course, it's a different thing that if there's an incident coming in, there's some issues which come in, of course, then they step in. But in general, there's a lot of focus on work-life balance, even though we are a global team, which means that we constantly are talking to people across the world. Right. So to start with, I would say the first thing that we have done is that we follow a hybrid model, right? Which means people need to come only 3 days a week, right? What we have also not defined in Bangalore is the days that they need to come, which means that you can choose any 3 days that work for you, right? We have also not defined the number of hours that you need to be in office, which means you can choose the hour that works for you, right? But having said that, the larger with the larger objective that you are still able to collaborate with rest of the folks that, for whom that you are, I mean, for that you're coming to office, right? So that is what we have provided. That's the first thing that we do, and that's something which our folks, highly appreciate, right? Now, of course, moving from other things that usually people provide, which is your insurance, which that all companies provide insurance and everything. What we do beyond that is we have leave policies that take care of life events for folks, right? So we have a very of course, we follow the maternity leave for our women team members, but we also have a 12-week paternity leave for our new fathers, right? Which you will not see that in too many places, right? Apart from that, what we also do is for the first 1 year, which is from the time your child is born and he or she turns one, both parents, right, can take 1 year remote working, right, which means they can spend that time with their child in the early years, right? And we recognize that people need that time with their children, and we have heard so many good things about this policy that we introduced, right? The third thing that we also have is employee assistance program. Now we all know that while we have everything around, we are socially connected so well, but even then we have loneliness as an issue, right? With all the neutral families, people moving away from their families and not having the right set of friends, right? So this particular program of ours is being well utilized by folks, and it's a totally anonymous thing, right? So while I don't get to know who has raised it, I do get to know what kind of issues are getting raised. So I see that people are raising anywhere from career to marriage to love life to anything under the thing. So that's what is available for them. Apart from the usual, I mean, we do have health checkups, annual health checkups for people. We have free online consultation for people, right? And we have subsidized daycare facilities for folks, and multiple communication channels for people to be able to get all the information that they should have, and also reach out to the right people when they really need it. So those are the things that we do.
And I think very well thought and very holistic, all these initiatives. Thank you so much, Renzi, for sharing those. Now, GCCs are being seen as the new hubs of innovation for the global counterparts. Now, at Sabre, I want to know what strategies are you leveraging, to create that, right mindset, right capabilities, right skills to make that vision, a reality. How to, how you're creating, Sabre Bengaluru, an innovation engine for its global counterpart.
So, we are celebrating our 20 years this year, right? 20 years when this center was formed in Bangalore, right? So, of course, the center has grown so much over the years, right? And it's to do with the culture that we provide, a culture where product engineering, design, operations, and customer support, all these teams can come together and work, right? A culture where we constantly have these programs where people come in and look at how do we improvise on the BAU, right? How do we make things better from where they are, right? The other thing that we do is that how do we give ownership to people over products, right? They get chances to face our customers directly, so they're learning directly from the customers, right? And while we do have levels, but people easily get to work across levels, right? Because we don't have those things that you cannot talk to a higher level, or you're not available to talk to a senior leader. People work together, and they bring the best to their table, right? So we have created a culture where it fosters people to come together, contribute, and not limit themselves because of the environments, right? And ask the right questions and raise their hands for the right things, so that they take ownership of things that they are doing.
So as GCCs are becoming more and more widespread in India, there's a war for talent as well. The talent demand is also intensifying. Also at the same time, there are homegrown companies in India, so there's a competition from that side as well. So how are these dynamics shaping your hiring and retention strategies at Sabre Bengaluru? And if you could give us some idea on the outcome of these initiatives you must have in place.
I spoke about our campus recruitment program, right? That we have these interns coming in every year, right? We hire close to around 50 interns every year, right? We give them the best internship. And what you have realized is that at the end of these folks, I mean, I have seen them transforming into a professional, right? I mean, when they come in, they are like these college kids just starting in a corporate world, and in 6 months, you see them developed and transformed into these professionals, right? And then they join us as employees, right? So what that does is basically energize our whole system, right? The fresh talent, fresh thought process, right? That's what we do on the hiring part of things. We also work a lot on, I mean, I spoke about benefits. Similarly, we offer things that makes us an employer of choice, right? How people are able to look at us and come to us for the various things that we offer, be it the kind of culture that we offer, the work that we offer, the benefits that we offer, right? And I also spoke about the learning programs that we have, right? We are in a world where continuous learning is the constant, right? So how are we offering these be it tools, be it platforms, be it the various hackathons or tech challenges that we are offering to them, where they are continuously able to do better, right? And of course, I mean, we do have opportunities available for people, because every position gets posted in our both externally as well as internally, and we follow a policy where we don't limit people by duration in their roles, right? Which means people are open to apply to any roles that are available. And one of the things that we really focus on is the fact that is a check-in conversations, right? Which is a monthly conversation between the employee and the manager, right? Where we actually talk about what is the growth path for a particular person, right? So while we say that the ownership of a career is with an employee, we also the expectation from our managers or people leaders, as we call them, is also that they will provide the guidance required for a new person to do well, right? So that is what we follow. So I think those are the various ways.
So, Renzi, my one last question for you, is that one of the things that, we have been, discussing throughout is, and mentioning, is AI, and it's no doubt that, AI is, increasingly playing a important role in HR as well. It has completely transformed what HR can do for business. So, I want to understand from you, that at Sabre Bangalore, where do you think, where are you seeing, AI making a very tangible impact? And where you are seeing that the way is still a little longer, like it will take some time for AI to make an impact.
So we are using AI already in some of our systems. So like we use Workday, right? So through Workday we are using AI to automate a lot of things, right? How do people search, how do the people find information there, right? We are of course also looking at how does AI solve or bring in chatbots that can quickly resolve employee queries, right? That's another area that we are that we are looking at, right? We also work very closely with LinkedIn, and I know LinkedIn gives a lot of tools for people to create resumes, for us to shortlist the resumes the right way, right, and get the right candidate that will fit in the kind of positions that we are looking at. But I think it's just a start. I would think there's a long way to go, right? I mean, not just in the HR space, but in the business space as well, right? I mean, we all know that AI is making difference, but I don't think we have completely leveraged what AI can do.
I totally agree with you. So I mean, just to conclude, so maybe right now talent acquisition is the space where I think you're seeing like when you mention about resumes and all, so that may be the part. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rency. It has been a wonderful conversation, full of key takeaways, for me and for our viewers. Thank you for that. Thank you for joining We Talk Talent.